James, you know somebody is upset. You know somebody's upset when they say, I don't even know what to say right now. Like, that's when you know they mad. When you're in an argument and they don't even got nothing to say, they're beyond upset. But, James, let's have this real conversation. Davante Adams was playing in Green Bay. All-pro, on the way into the Hall of Fame. He was going to walk America into the Hall of Fame. But then he said, you know what? I want to go play with my dog, Derek Carr. Yep. So I want to go to Las Vegas and play with Derek Carr for $140 million. Highest paid wide receiver at the time of the trade. But now he's upset. He's disgruntled. He's not happy. Yeah. Did the Raiders owe it to Davante Adams? Because they didn't trade him. Did they owe it to him to move him? Speak your truth.
You know, I wish that I had the right words to say. But I don't know.
Come on, Randy Watson.
I will say this. Since Davante has been in Las Vegas, he's done everything the right way. Even this season, I'm just gonna talk on this season, right? He gets hit in Buffalo, you know, in the head, comes back, doesn't miss a game, right? The very next week, against the New England Patriots, he takes a shot. We all seen the shot he took from Jabril Peppers, right? Comes back in the next series play. We watched the Chargers game. He goes down on that shoulder. Whatever may happen, he went into the locker room, got some special juice, came on back out there and played, right? A lot of us is not picking the Raiders to go to the Super Bowl. This dude is a competitor. This dude wants to win, and he wants to be out there with his teammates. He's playing hurt, what a lot of people think is not on a good football team. I felt like with Davante Adams, is he 29, about to be 30, or 30 years old right now? I felt like they should have had a conversation with Davante Adams to be able to discuss and talk to him about his future and if he wanted to get out of there.
He doesn't want to be there, though. We know that. So, like, you're saying a lot, but I haven't heard anything yet.
I don't know necessarily if he don't want to be there because he came out last week and said he don't want to leave. He did say that.
So then the Raiders don't owe it to him? Because I haven't heard an answer from you yet, sir. And we're about now a minute and a half into the segment.
Yes, the Raiders do owe it to him. Okay. If you want my answer. The Raiders do owe it to him strictly because of what I said. Did everything the right way. He's trying to win. He's getting older, right? Obviously, this season right here is not going the way the Raiders wanted to go, so you're probably not going to the playoffs, right? You're not going to be in the playoffs to have an opportunity to go win a championship. Davante Adams, like you heard in his interview the other day, is chasing greatness, and he is trying to win. Obviously, none of that is getting accomplished right now. So I feel like, yes, the Raiders should have had some talks or whatever it may be with these other teams to be able to let Davante Adams go, especially with Davante Adams getting up there in age, and to let him go play and be able to play somewhere else and compete for a championship.
Where do you stand on it, Joy? Did the Raiders owe it to Davante Adams to move him?
Yeah, because they changed the circumstances of which he went to them for. He went there to play with Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Does he play with Derek Carr?
No.
No, he plays with Jimmy Garoppolo. Do you think he would have gone to the Raiders if Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback?
Nobody probably would do that.
I'm going to guess no. Now, they did get him, they wrote him a very, very big old check to go there, but part of the reason he went there was because of the quarterback that was there, who's no longer there. So if you change the circumstances in which I bestow my all-pro future Hall of Fame talent upon your organization that does not have a history of winning, which I'll get to in a second, not of recent, and then you change the person who's going to be throwing me the ball, knowing that this person is limited, it's not a secret, then yes, you owe it to me. Now, would I prefer that he play somewhere else? I think all of us would. I think all of us would like to see Davante Adams thrive. He's one of the best players in the league. The league is better when the best players can get the ball, especially at his position. Not saying he should have stayed in Green Bay, because he'd probably be dealing with the same situation there, okay? Perhaps worse. But you take the money, you go to an organization like the Raiders, and this is a bit of a risk that you run based off of their organizational history. But do they owe it to him? Yes.
All right.
To a shady talk.
I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to say no, right? Because the business part of the game, they paid him a lot of money. He came to the Raiders. That's how it works. So they don't really owe him that. But on the other side of it, it's like, come on. He's your best player. And I hate when these coaches and these ownerships play with all-star Hall of Fame type caliber players, right? Their coach, Josh McDaniels, he ain't nowhere near no Hall of Fame, none of that.
Not at all.
Right? Don't hold this man back. I watched that video, right, of him being frustrated, slamming his helmet, and I know that feeling where he is so good. He is a great player, and you got me playing with Jimmy G? Come on. When they decided to sign Jimmy G, I say, yo, he ain't gonna have no 1,000 yards. Jimmy G's terrible. He's awful, god-awful as a quarterback. They should let Davante Adams go. Let him go. Trade him and get some good for him. Now, I know the deadline's over, but going to next year, don't hold a man back like that. This guy, you know how hard it is to get to a Hall of Fame? You know how hard it is to even have an opportunity to do that? And he has that type of talent. He's that good. Yeah. He went from being the #1 wide receiver in the league to now, the only time we talk about him is to say how he's not getting the ball, how he's frustrated. The thing I love about Davante Adams, I'm going a little rant because I love his game. I love the personality he has. But he shows you that money's not the only thing that matters.
That's it.
Anybody that got that money, with $140 million come there, they like, man, love, we cool. Yeah. Where my Rolls Royce at? Pull that up. He don't care about that. He want to win. He want to be great. Yeah. And everybody can't understand a great player's mentality. They can't understand it. Yeah. I be talking to people that don't even understand what I be talking about sometimes. My thing was this, for the Raiders, don't waste this guy's talent. He ain't no young boy no more. He's about to be 30 soon.
31. He's already 30.
He's 31? He's super talented. Has a lot of talent left. Let him go to a good team, a competing team. Not the Raiders and Jimmy G's the quarterback.
Well, that ship has sailed, obviously, because they didn't trade him. But I feel like we're giving a lot of answers based on feelings and not based on facts.
Oh, that's good. I think that's...
Wait, what ain't facts? He's all in famer. He's with a bad quarterback, bad team,
bad head
coach.
The Raiders don't owe it to Davante Adams to trade him because, like you said, and like we know...
What a business.
It's a business. Yeah, okay. It's on a contract. He's on a contract. Shady, I vividly remember when I was committing to college, a decision that I made, like Davante Adams making a decision to go to Las Vegas. My head coach, Hall of Fame head coach, he said, hey, remember, you're committing to the school. You're not committing to me. So it was very sobering. It was very sobering. He said, you're committing to the school, you're not committing to me. I was like, but coach, I don't really know the school.
Yeah.
I don't know the 48.
You came and sat in my house.
I know you. Yeah. But he said, hey, I'm getting ahead of this. You are committing to the school, the Las Vegas Raiders. You're not committing to me, to Derek Carr. The name on the back of the jersey, it will forever change. Forever. The logo on the helmet, it stays the same.
Point.
The name on the front of the jersey for teams that have names on the front of their jerseys, that stays the same. And so while Davante Adams, like he said, he went there for Derek Carr. But just because Carr leaves, he was committing to the Raiders and that $140 million. Shady, you signed big contracts in the NFL. James, you have as well. I haven't. And so when you sign a contract, bottom of the paper, it didn't say Derek Carr. It said Davante Adams, and it said the Las Vegas Raiders.
But you know what it does have, though? Before they even give you that contract, when they trade for you, right? So I guess mine's is similar to his because I got traded there, and then they brought that bag out. You know what I'm saying? They backed that truck up. My thing is, before I even got to the team, they had a pitch they were selling me, right? So the money part's one of them. That's to get me in the door. We need this money. All right, cool. Now what's up? Derek Carr was part of that pitch.
Vision.
Yeah, no doubt.
Derek Carr was part of that pitch.
True, he was.
So when he leaves the next year, it's like, yo, thanks for the money, cool. You had to give me that anyway. Any teams will give him that money because he was that good. But what really brought me here is you brought me Derek Carr. Now he's gone. Then you bring me Jimmy G. So I hear what you're saying, but that's not the pitch you gave me. That's how I got here. So basicly, you lied to me. Yeah, I'm going to say it like that. They liars.
Yeah, well,
that's true.
And that happens in business.
I don't disagree.
But this is why players like Davante Adams don't go to organizations like the Raiders.
Don't do the Raiders.
I'm going to have to do the Raiders like that. I'm going to have to
She
do
got the Joker
Raiders.
stuff on. Go on do the bad guy thing today.
This is the first one for today. The Raiders over the last 20 seasons have 13 10-loss seasons. Only the Browns have more over that span. They have not finished in the top half of the NFL in scoring defense even once in 20 years, and they have no playoff wins. That's the third longest active drought in the NFL without a postseason victory. This is a bad organization over the last 2 decades. You bring in a player like Davante Adams, who chooses to walk into that door and bring all the greatness with him. The very least you could do is hold up your end of the bargain for winning.
Right.
Why else am I here? And by the way, you're telling not just us, not Davante Adams, but also your fans, is this important to you as well? Because the person throwing Davante Adams the ball, the guy that you're paying $140 million, has to be good enough to get him the ball in order for you to get the benefit of having Davante Adams that you're paying $140 million in the first place. So whether they owe him that, like, business-wise or whatever, fine. But let this be a message to the rest of the league. If you a great player that holds yourself to a certain standard, which is why Davante Adams is frustrating, because you're right, he could just take the money and chill. He could be like, I got the bag. Right. I don't need to come in here and be great. I could just do what I do, and that's that. But they're they're playing in his face that he won't continue to care as much as he does because they know that that's the type of player that he is. They know that he's that great, that he's not going to lower his standard for the situation that he's in.
I blame Davante.
Good point, though.
Why?
Why?
I blame Davante.
Why you blame him?
Because we all knew, 1, 2, 3, 4, we all know the Raiders are not good. And we knew the Raiders are not good. And even with Derek Carr, I believe the Raiders had won no playoff games. I think they've been twice. You should know better than I. But I think the Raiders have been to 2 playoff games, even with Derek Carr. Last year with Derek Carr, they had a 6-win season. Obviously, Derek Carr got benched, I think, the final 2 games. Yeah. So even with Derek Carr, you were not winning. So if you went there to win, you weren't winning. Now, was he an all-pro? Yes. But what I have been told at this desk is Davante went there to win. Yeah. So even with Derek Carr, you weren't winning. Yeah. Before you showed up, without you, the Raiders were not winning. You know they weren't winning.
So hold on for a second. So are you trying to tell me that that bad teams for a long period of time can't become good? I know you're not telling me that.
I'm telling you.
I know you're not telling me that.
I'm telling you.
Okay, what you telling me?
I'm telling you, I would not bank my future on a bad organization.
So if we look at, because I don't want to do this, but if we look at some of the good teams right now playing, they were bad for a while.
No doubt.
You want me to name them, or we good?
No, you can name them.
So, but the Bills, I was there.
Sure.
Bills, they turned that thing around. You got some player, who?
Bengals.
Of course.
Thank you.
I'm not disagreeing with y'all.
The Chiefs.
I'm not disagreeing.
Let's go to the Chiefs.
Wait, what point are you making? Because I'm making a different point than you.
Okay,
the point that I am making is name a great player that went to those organizations when they were bad.
But let me
if Deshaun Watson went to the Browns and the Browns were sorry, I'm like, big dog, they were sorry before you. They was going to be sorry after you. They are a historically bad organization. Nobody was getting traded to the Bills when they were bad. You know better than I. You went by force, not by choice.
Oh, Stephon Diggs.
They weren't bad at the time.
How good were they?
They were a 10-win team.
How good were they?
They were a 10-win team.
So, the year before that, the first year before that, they were 10-win team, right?
I believe they were 10-6. Andy, you have to help me off camera.
Hold on. See, I got you. When the Bills, we were a bad team. We getting better and better because they have a good coach, right? Sean McDermott's a good coach, and he's solid on defense. So we got better and better, but they didn't start rolling and rolling and rolling.
Not.
Hold on, until they got Stephon Diggs.
Of course not.
And then when they got Stephon Diggs, matter of fact, I know the numbers. Thanks, Matt, for letting me know 2 weeks ago. Since they got Stephon Diggs, they're what are they? One and damn, what's the record? I'm trying to think of it. Stats wise and win wise, I know that. I know they win a lot with Stephon Diggs, and they get a lot of stats. I know that. But I'm trying to be like direct with the numbers.
Here's my point, though.
But they changed that whole thing around. Let's just keep it simple.
But there's a difference.
They went from winning okay games to actually be every year winning like 12 to 13 games a year.
Yeah, let me say this.
I like that stat. Just for you.
As an athlete, when you feel like if I'm at this organization, we gonna have an opportunity to win, as an athlete, that's how you think. Davante Adams was looking at the Raiders saying, number one, I get to go play with my brother that I played with in college. Number two, I'm looking at Darren Waller. I'm looking at Josh Jacobs. I'm looking at Hunter Renfrow. I'm looking at Max Crosby. I'm looking at Chandler Jones at the time. Like, we have a team that we can build around and possibly win. Yeah. You got what I'm saying? Obviously, it didn't go like that, and you shipped Derek Carr out of there. But when he was signing that deal and asking for the trade, number one, the key person was Derek Carr. Number two, what's the vision? Are we going to have an opportunity to win? You know what? We have two really good dudes to build around on the defensive side of the ball, and Mad Max and Chandler we just signed the same year that we signed you. We have Josh, a really good running back. We have Darren Waller, a really good tight end. Obviously, Derek, and then yourself and Hunter Renfrow, who was coming off of a 1,000-yard season, 100 catches. Like, there was pieces around there to win. So you're thinking you're coming to an organization saying, I'm possibly the missing piece to help this team win with Derek Carr. It didn't turn out like that, but that's how you're thinking going into this situation. Not like, oh, I'm going to the Raiders and they ain't had no success. We ain't going to have no success. If Stephon Diggs thought that, then the Buffalo Bills wouldn't be nothing. So I just think mindset as an athlete, you think when you're there, you're going to help this team win. And that's why he's still out there. Hurt, all that, trying to help this team win.
I respect it. Well, when we returned, along with the Raiders not making a move, the Cowboys nor the Eagles made any moves today right ahead of the deadline. So whose team do we have more confidence in? That's next after the break. We're getting rolling here.
Can we come back to this topic?
Ooh, Andy, that 10-6 pool had me nervous. I was right, though.
What year was that?
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.